Vivian, Moses,
Hi. Good afternoon.
good afternoon, Vivian.
Yeah, good afternoon.
You didn't go to church today.
No.
Okay.
Hello, good morning, Abi. Okay, afternoon, it's afternoon.
Good afternoon, IJ.
Ogami Kabir, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Is your boy, sir?
Your boy is lawyer, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I spoke with Dr. Francis. He said he was gonna, okay, maybe he didn't say, but he was gonna travel. So, but he said he'll be joining us later, maybe around that kind 2 o'clock. But what he said was that at least before he comes, we can just be show each other what we've done so far. That's based on our what do they call it? The dashboards that we've done. Ogami, you've done your dashboard now. Abi? Vivian, hello.
Okay, hi, good afternoon. Okay, so for me, I haven't really done my dashboard. This last week, Saturday, we had our exam and we had intensive. So it's this week I want to work on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So has anybody done any dashboards to show?
Mine is in progress, but I can show it like that, yeah.
Ogami, please fire down.
No, you're supposed to see something impressive. So, okay, don't worry. Let me show it like that. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, beautiful.
So which data did you use? Okay, the marketing data.
Hey, I've been talking since, though. I didn't know I'm muted, though.
Oh, okay. Because
I've been talking to myself since, though. Sorry. Okay, so I actually on it about an hour ago. So it's still but this is what I've queried so far. The first chart here is showing the income as a function of marital status. For instance, if I have a product I want to push now, I actually want to know the income range of people by the marital status, so I can know how I'm going to target the marital status. I should target whether they are single, divorce, or depend on the product. This one is showing that. The next chart here is showing the income income by function of education. Probably, okay, this particular product fits into, this is the educational level I should target on the peculiarity of the product I'm pushing. This one also by, okay, this is the one by income. And I have a slicer. I want to narrow it down to a particular country. I have it here, is interactive. So this is just what I've done so far. I'm working on it like an hour ago.
Wow, this makes sense. This
I
makes
use
sense.
no, I know your own will be powerful. There is nothing, I've not done anything. I actually made the marketing data is sent. So I clean the data here. Here are my analysis sheets. And from here I move each of the charts to the dashboard. So I'm actually still working on the chart. So let me stop sharing so that another person can actually share.
Okay, I have something to share too.
Okay, Olumide, please.
Just a minute, please. Can you all see my screen? Hello?
Yeah, we can see it now. We can see it
Yes,
now.
we can. Okay, make yours interactive. So I use the HR data. So by maritals, I want to know those people that are married in business. So it changes. So I decided to use the graph because there's a place there that talks about the state of origin. So I decided to use the map of Nigeria to just capture it. So if you see those people that are single, also in depth inside the, what was it called? You see the one that is changing, turning to blue inside the graph. And all those things. And those people that are married, they're under commercial sales.
Sorry. Olumide, so you have that means you're using 365, right? For you to get this map.
Yes, I'm using 365.
Okay. Then please, how did you get this? The bar, sorry, he said it's column chart. The chart, the one on top of the map. Yeah. So where did you get this particular, it looks like it's 3D.
I know based
Yeah,
on it, you actually change it. I don't know the package you're using, but from, what was it called? From the graph. Okay, let me just try and go to this. So from those inserts, things like that. So based on what Dr. Francis taught us, the helper, so I just use the helper button, go to all this. Things when you click on it. So let me use. So once you click on it, you can actually change.
The last thing I think,
Yeah.
to your right should be 3D.
You can actually change all those things. So mostly it all depends on your package. Do you get? From there, from up to, okay, I think it's from up. So you can actually change all those things. So I just tried to just do trial and error to get which one is more comfortable with.
It really looks beautiful on the eye. Is it just my eye? It looks really nice.
I think, yes, you're right. It depends on the package.
Really nice.
Mine is not turning out this good because, I don't know, I couldn't set that background as it was. Picture quality, I don't know, it just changed everything. It didn't set.
What I did is, okay, I got this background online. So, okay, let me just do like an example. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
So I just remove it and I go to insert.
What did you remove?
Grid line.
I go to insert. Okay, I remove all those grid lines. You get. I go to somewhere I saw a brand layer, and okay, this is it. So I went see. I just search for human resource because I use HR, African Human Resource Management, because I want to. So it gives you so many options you can choose from. So assuming I want to take this, once I insert, it takes over. So I don't need to be doing what Dr. Francis was doing to just make it to align. Because I'm getting it online, it automatically just align it.
Okay.
Based on, yeah. So it all depends on the package we're using.
Yes, the package. I may need to change mine.
It therefore means that if we are not on 365, then we'll have to get like download it from Google and then come.
Yes, exactly. You go the route of what Dr. Francis taught us. So for you go to get the image, save it, and now start putting it as background. So let me just allow some people to share that. So someone else can share and just. IJ, you have the floor.
Nice one, Olumide.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm trying to connect my system. It's my phone I'm using, so I'm putting on my system to connect. Okay, sure you guys can see my screen. So like I use the HR data sets, and then I think I didn't finish because I spent so much time over rationalizing the thing. Like I first created a sheet to start asking questions, like trying to find out, he was saying that we should try to determine what we want from the data, what we want to find. So I began to analyze, think of questions. I brought up 15 questions. I wanted the data to tell me. Then I now went to the analysis sheet. Then I now started doing the whole regular stuff. So trying to find out, trying to ask myself, okay, by degree, how many people have first degrees and all that? Then I try to find out other questions, what division has the most staff and all that, state of origin, as Olumide did, and then age group, before I now try to start asking other questions like what division has the most people above 40 years. So I did that because I wanted to use that grouping thing that he taught us, that you can group ages. So I grouped them into like splitting them by 10 years, 10, 20, 30, and all that. Then, yeah, I was interested in when I thought HR, I thought female, what's the word? Female, like a lot of people say women are underrepresented in the workplace and all that. So I wanted to see if that is happening here. So when I now got here, I now started. The basic biodata, where they went to school and all that. Then by gender, they are mostly male. Then state of origin, the state of origin thing, I didn't use map like Olumide, I just used the bar chart. I found that most of them came from Lagos. Then, yeah, by division, I wasn't sure how to compare female employees I wanted to check which division has the most females and compare that to which division has the most, as in like which division has the most number of employees. It's commercial followed by customer support. And I say, okay, are women represented in these divisions? And yeah, so female are also like almost the same thing. Yeah. Then I did with the age, I did with number of service. I have not yet put my slicers because I spent too much time on things that were not, I overanalyzed it in my head. So yeah, I'm not done. So I hope to put the slicers later and make it look more nice, like Egbon Olumide and Egbon Lukman.
No,
So-
you've done well. though. You've done well. though. It's nice, actually. It's at least the basic question you are able to answer the basic questions.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Just to finish it up.
Mm. Okay, so let me stop sharing. Hello, Maria.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Anything? Were you able to
Like I
during the
said,
week?
my package didn't give me enough flexibility.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So, and that's the biggest challenge I had because I had conceptualized everything I wanted to do, but it was not coming out following the steps that Dr. Francis gave us. It wasn't coming out with that aesthetic flow like it should have. So what I've concluded is that I need to get the 360 to get the actual beauty of it all. So
Does anybody know how much that thing costs?
no, I don't.
5 users is 38,000 equivalents in Nigerian money.
38.
Yes, that's family package, and it will give you access to 5 users can use that.
Mhm.
I think I was trying 37 or 38 or so.
Is it a subscription service or is one time?
No, it's subscription. 365 is subscription per annum.
Per annum? Oh, okay.
For 5 people, you can actually you can use
Can
it.
split
concurrent.
cost and all.
Yes. Unfortunately, I just gave someone the last license. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that means if anybody's interested, 5 people can just come together and just
Exactly.
run it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Interested.
Anybody else want to share? Okay. In the absence of no other sharings, maybe when other people join us, they will share with whatever they've done so far. But in the absence of that, I was considering this. Like, I know all of us are busy. LBS is stressful, and for those of us that are working, yeah, LBS is even doubly stressful. But however, I was thinking of something like DA Club as a whole. The timetable or the list of activities for us to do this year, I wanted us to talk about it. So far, those of us that come here regularly, we haven't really talked about like the plan for the year and all that. So, and generally, we don't have a structure yet on ground, like a leadership structure. So it's going to be a little difficult making these decisions, on your own and all that. So I want to share the screen again on the plans for the year that we shared initially in our first meeting. And then if you guys have any comments or suggestions or anything like that, you can just share with the house so that at least we'll know, we'll have an idea of what we want to do for this year. And then other people can critique. Is that okay?
It's fine. It's fine by me.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's okay for me.
Okay. So let me share the Excel again. Okay. I'm sure you guys can see it now. Yeah. So the number one is what we are currently doing, trainings. And I think it's like what is most important to most of us here. It's why we are here actually. The trainings and all. Yeah, I think that was the most important thing to most of us. But the other stuffs, take a look at the number two. Does anybody know anything about hackathons?
No, I don't.
Not for me.
I don't.
Okay. So basically a hackathon is basically a competition. So someone comes up with a problem, usually a problem that can be solved with data. Okay, let me read this one. It says hackathons, intra-university and inter-university competitions. We would be invited for some and we organize some. Okay, so for now, I'm not envisaging anything like some, probably just one because nobody likes stress. But hackathons, basically, they are competitions where people if we organize one, for example, we could get a company to give us their data problem. Maybe they want to see if, for example, it's a HR problem. If females are complaining, women are complaining that they're. So can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Okay. So for example, women in an organization are complaining that they are underrepresented in top management. Maybe Unilever, the women, they are complaining that when it's time for promotion, they only favor the men. And those that have spent a long time there are not in top positions. So Unilever could have that problem, their HR could have that problem, and then they will now give us their data, their staff data to analyze and say, is it really true? So we will now be the ones to take their data, I'm just giving an example. We'll discuss with Francis about this, but we'll just, for example, they give us their data, we analyze it, and using the techniques that Francis has taught us, for example, and then say, and then find out the percentage of those in position and those who are out of position and all that, and then come up with, and then recommend solutions based on what the data is showing us. So it's stuff like that. So That's what basically what hackathons are. So the problem that will be given to you, and then you guys will form yourselves into teams, or we will form ourselves into teams, and then try to analyze or bring up a solution based on what the data tells us. So usually who wins, usually not just who finishes first, but who is able to present the data clearly, is able to communicate, to bring out the most insights using data. And then there'll be a panel of judges, and then there's usually a prize, depending on how it's organized. So that's basically what hackathons are. So that's one option. So the second one is, after hackathon, is inter-secondary school competition. That one is not us that are competing now, it's secondary school students. Maybe you just give them something, teach them about Excel for a while, and then, or something simple, and then give a competition about it. That's all. So I just want us to have an idea of what the plans are, so that when we see hackathons, it's not like, what's all these ones people are talking about? What's all this one? Just teach me Excel, let me be going to my house. Then, there could be conferences, maybe bring somebody who works in a data-heavy industry, or who analyzes heavy data, and so you can just come and talk for a while. I don't think LBS has really had any talk organized around data. I'm not sure, I may be wrong, I stand to be corrected, but I've not heard of any in the past or currently. Yeah. So I've shared this Excel before on the group. I'm probably going to reshare it again, and I'll encourage us to go through everything so that we can have an idea. Anything you have questions about, anything you don't really understand, you can post it on the group, and so I'm sure somebody will be there to be on hand to respond. If not me, Dr. Francis, or anybody. So yeah, I think I'm talking too much now. So I'm tired of hearing myself. I want to hear somebody else. Can I stop sharing this?
Yes, it's a nice idea.
Okay. So yeah, there are other options that we could do for the year, not just the hackathon. There are other things, like we could organize the conference and all that. Dr. Francis was even telling me about something like a data hub. Like, you know how in Nigeria they will tell you that there's no data in the country, that the country does not have data. You'll be looking for what is the maternal mortality, everybody knows that one. But we'll be looking for what is the birth rate in Etiosa local governments. We don't know. But there are people with this data out there. It's just that the data is fragmented. Like if you want to know something about something, you have to go to that place and look for who has the data. It's usually very stressful. If you're doing any projects or anything, it's usually stressful to source for data. So Francis was telling me before about the possibility of a data hub, that we could be like a repository of certain types of data. We are the ones that will decide what types of data we want to become a repository of. And then gradually, steadily, we'll just be gathering it. It's going to take a while. As he said, it's a long-term plan. So it's like we'll just be gathering data over and over and be storing it. And maybe we'll have a cloud service where we are storing all this data, so that one day in the future, you never can tell where you would be where you'll be working or something, and you will need data on a particular thing. And then you know, okay, LBS, data analytics club in LBS, we can get the data from them. So that was basically the idea of that one, to become a repository of data on different topics, on different issues. So yeah, so I think one of the last ones I will talk. One of the last ones I'll talk about was this one. Okay, we already mentioned something about CSR, but besides this data hub, there were Francis was also talking about the possibility of publishing some of our data insights, maybe from the hackathon or from our own practice or whatever, insights from data that people did not really know about Nigeria. At least we have to start from our locality. But yeah, so it will be like a publication. I'm not sure if LBS has a publication. Does anyone know if LBS has a publication, like its own scope, regular, week, monthly, or biannually, or something publication?
I think they have a newsletter, but I don't know how often they publish it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So if LBS had something like that, maybe we could once in a while publish there. One person now, like Obala or Madam Maria, can just publish something, 1 or 2 data insights on behalf of the club. It will make sense now. What do you think? Then yeah, that's basically for that. Then I think many of the other things it gets broader, it gets better when we've gotten the basic skills that we came here to learn. And that's what we came here for. The journey that Dr. Francis was talking to us about, as we're starting with Excel now, probably from next month, we are going to SQL. So after SQL, we can now move further to others. So, but if we're able to go through all the tools he wanted us to go through between now and June, that's 6 months. From July, that's from the second half of the year, we can now start talking about all these projects, because we would have the skill sets, at least from at an introductory level. Even if at an introductory level, we have the skill sets to execute many of these projects. So you cannot be talking about analyzing, well, we can, but we cannot be talking about analyzing a company like Affex now, analyzing their data in depth with just when all you know how to do is just to do dashboard. Well, it's something, but I believe that there are more tools and more skills that we can gain before we start jumping into projects like that, or like these. So yeah, I just thought I should whet our appetites first on the possibilities for the future, so that as we are going, when these things are being mentioned, or as plans or as ideas for us to do, we will be informed, so that for us to make decisions on which ones we are going to do. So yeah, that is a summary. At this juncture, I will share it on the group for those who have not seen it before. Yeah, for those who are just coming, thank you for coming. Dr. Francis will be with us probably in about 30 minutes.
I think he's with us already. Or is there a different Francis?
Okay.
I saw a Francis.
Sir, you're welcome, sir.
Hello. No, go ahead now.
I didn't expect you this early.
I just logged in, but that's fine.
Okay. So yeah, he was in transit before, or thought he was coming later. Thank you for coming, sir. So yeah, I'm going to share the Excel on the group, so that at least we have an idea of where we are supposed to go, or the direction that we are going. That's when we start brainstorming about it, it will not be news. It will not be like, what are these people talking about? I just came here to learn Excel and SQL and Python and go home. So I actually think to make for a more robust experience, so that at least for those of us who are still students in LBS, it's not just, these are some of the other fringe benefits that one can enjoy or participate in, and feel like have that sense of community. Like, not just to come to class and read book and answer questions from Professor Wolabi and go home. So there are other things that you can do that will spice up our stay. And for those of us who are done with LBS and are just coming back for a refresher, at least I think it would be a good time, even if you're not actively like doing stuff in being a part of it, although I will encourage you to, but even if you're not actively executing this project, but I think that it will just be a wonderful refresher if you participate. So yeah, that is it. Sir, I don't know if you are ready for us, sir.
But have you guys finished presenting your dashboard?
Yes, we have.
Let me see some what you guys have done so far. But let me just see a few that you guys have done.
Okay. I wanted to show mine first, then there are others. Some people did some very wonderful things. So let me just show mine first that is not fine, so that when other people will be increasing in fineness. So I'm sure you can see I used the HR data sets. Yeah. Yeah. So you told us to is data sheet analysis and reports. Sorry, these ones are errors. So, but I ended up trying to create a separate sheet to ask questions, like to bring out the questions I wanted to ask the data. So yeah, so I just to guide so that it will guide what I wanted to the report I wanted to make or the analysis I wanted to do. So after I brought out the questions I thought were important, I went to the analysis and then I did on all of them. Then unfortunately I'm not done, but after this I now went to the report and I brought all of them out. The stage I stopped, I brought all of them out. Yeah, so qualification by number of staff, the division of each employees, each division has the most employees, and then are there more men than women? Are there more women than men? Then how are most of them recruited? Most of them are through agencies. And I checked the staff. They have young staff. Most of their staff are between 20 and 40. So yeah. Then I did the state of origin, and then I checked for females. Like I was interested in how many women of the women that are in the 30% of women that are in the company, how are they distributed? Are they just I can see that only 2% of them are in innovation, only 2% of them are in regulatory and legal services. Most of them are in sales and marketing. So it now made me wonder, are they just women like sidelined in the company and just relegated to non-tech roles? So I now try to compare it with the general population of the company, and so that actually it's the same thing. It kind of mirrors the general population. So yeah, it's not like women are sidelined. It's almost the same thing, whether you're a woman or whether you are a regular employee. So yeah, I wanted to try my hands on the grouping of age grouping. They didn't give us the age, they just gave us the ages.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. In fact, they didn't give us the age, they gave us date of birth, year of birth. So what I did was to convert it to age. I did 2022 minus this to create a new column for age. I felt it to make my life easier. So when I now did that, I was now able to group those ages. And then the ages above I grouped them into by 10. So 10, 20, 30, and then, yeah. So I now found out more people that were above 40. And then I just wanted to know their old population, like the older people in the company, where do they work? It still mirrors the general population. Most of them are in sales and marketing also. So that was what I did. I didn't finish. I didn't make it interactive. So that's where I stopped.
Okay, that's good. So go back to that date, what you were trying to do there. The data
Yes.
itself. So you see that year, yes, you can do the age that way, right? But you know, you can also classify them according to their generations, right? So like you have baby boomers, you have Generation Z, millennials. You know, you can also convert it like that.
You mean like I could do like the same way we do the
Can I
grouping
create
in
another
pivot
group?
table?
Yes, can I create another group?
Okay.
Can also create another group. So, you know, for
Okay.
example, now if you talk about, let's say, baby boomers, I think they are 1946 to 1964, yeah, 64, 65. So any year between 1946 and 1964, you call it baby boomers. Anyone from, let's say, 1965 to, let's say, about 1980, that will be Generation Z. Then maybe 81 to maybe 95 or 96, for that one, maybe millennials. Then for 97 to maybe 20, I don't know, Generation Z still went. I don't know whether 2012 or so.
Well, I think it's short till current.
So you can also group them that way, right? So with that, so just beyond your normal age, you can also reclassify them into those their generations.
Okay.
Does this data, does it ask, let me see the data, does it ask who, so in terms of, okay, which people perform better? Is it younger or older people, male or female? So you can analyze them by several.
Okay, based on the performance score, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
For example, go to where they have, do they have anything about who leaves the turnover? Is there anything about turnover there?
No. Disciplinary action,
Not
years
yet,
of
not
service. No.
years of
Targeting.
service. Okay. You know, again, you can also analyze performance, even promotion. You can even analyze promotion by. Do they have anything like ethnicity or tribe?
Yes, state of origin.
State of origin, fine. So that's another thing again. You can also do. Then you want now check. So there are a whole lot of that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, so but for this one, I thought about using whether there are awards or something, but it was mainly by targets met. Most of them were 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. Like I don't think it would give us any.
Target met is just yes. It's another way of saying yes to now. So.
Okay, so that we could have converted this thing to a Boolean, like yes.
It's already a Boolean. It's already a Boolean.
Oh well, it's by the side. I was thinking
you can just maybe just get another this thing to rename it. So just create another one where 0 no, where 1 yes. That's all now.
Okay.
Then you this thing to check. So how many of them they can now classify them by male, by female? Do you get?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's fine. This you tried. Thank you.
Doctor.
Yes, Professor.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so I just want to, if you don't mind, I want to express what I did and the challenge I went through and my conclusion about it.
Okay, that's fine.
If it will help. some other
Yeah.
people that went through same challenge or similar challenge. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, we can hear you. You want to
Okay.
share your screen?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, thank you. So I'm not done though, but I just want to share what I did. So I'm just working on my dashboard. So what I first did was I wanted to get a lot of information. I was really interested in the HR data set because it's something I can relate to it a lot. But the mistake I made, which took my time, was that I wanted to do everything. Like my purpose was not defined. And it really was stressful. But I wasn't getting results. So I had to go back to ask myself that from this data set, what do I want to achieve? What do I want to get? What's the purpose? So I later identified that, okay, so my purpose is I want to identify departmental performance by state, gender, and marital status. So the essence is we are planning for promotion. And I want to understand the performance for each of the departments and categorize them into state, gender, marital status. So I think that before anyone does this or in the process of doing this, one should have a clear intention. If not, one would just be wasting time. So when I did this, it was easier. So I can say that now in Borno State, for example, I can see the achievement, I can see the performance, and I can look at the married people in Borno State. How did they perform across board? It changes. Maybe I should reduce it a bit.
No, it's fine. We can see. Don't worry.
Okay. Then Cross River State, it also like it's just specific and it gives me straight information. Unlike just trying to use. So I learned that I can use I can categorize. So if I'm doing performance management, I can make sure my data cut across in that aspect. Then if we want to reward underperformance also, because I saw previous performance score and those that didn't meet their target. So the data set can also, like you can have another segment, another sheet that answers to that. So that it's not like, because I had to call Obanla to understand what he did, so that it won't be as though you are just doing a lot of things and the people you are presenting it to are not getting the message. So it's not in the volume, it's the communication, because it is a report and it should just be simple.
Yes.
That's what I want to say, sir.
Thank you very much. And that also shows that the way you analyze, if you have a domain knowledge, right, before you look at that data, it makes more sense to you when you analyze it.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, if you are just analyzing, you just become a data analyst.
Exactly.
So that's the difference. So you must have that domain knowledge to make sense out of it. So that's why most data people they call data scientists, before they start that data, they first of all need to understand that domain. Okay. So the good part about what you guys are doing is that you guys already have your own domains, isn't it? So you now think about how can I apply these tools in each of my domain. And again, that's how you go. So if you now want to now go into the role of a proper data scientist or data analyst, it means that you must learn everybody's domain. Now I say the journey never stops. Once you share the data set, first of all, go back to understand what is this about. Right? Once you understand the domain, then now come back and look at the data so you can interpret that data. Yes, thank you very much, Antonia.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. So we again is sharing.
Sorry, can I go, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you see my screen, please?
Yeah, we can see your screen, yes.
Okay, this is a raw data. I noticed when I started, I was thinking this data was totally clean. When I was now doing it, trying to bring it out, I noticed there was some space that was not filled, it was leaving blank. So I have to now, based on that, use filter, hide it, then copy it and create another sheet. So that's why I get this one from. So that's why I name it from the
Okay, look, go back to that data. Go back to that the raw file.
Okay.
So you see here, you see the yes, because we are learning, that's one, right? But you see, if it was in the organization itself, there are people, those are people's records.
Yes, I know.
So
Because
you
it
have
was
to
the
always be
qualification
careful.
that was missing.
Yes, you have to now be careful the way you clean. Because if you decide to now expunge those ones that have errors in their data, then you see, so you have to be careful of what you are cleaning. Yes, the
Yes, sir.
easiest way just to just cut it out, right? That would be the easiest way. But sometimes that's not, that should be the least or your last resort.
Yes, I know.
So, okay, go ahead.
So this is now the real one now I actually worked on, and now started creating the analysis of everything. So I just make it very simple, just to get overall knowledge of what you've taught us, which brings us to the dashboard. And my simple scenario I was trying to like get is married people that are under this division department, and those people that are single are there, and things like that. So I decided to, okay, because I noticed it's a state, and based on what you taught us, that's I'm actually using Office 365. So I just went to go and get the map and sort of.
But since you don't have Abuja, Federal Capital Territory there.
That's why that was.
Yes.
I didn't even think. So basically, then this background, I just use my background.
Yeah, that's fine.
Actually, got it
You
online. Yes.
can also make this your visuals transparent so that.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
So also have good knowledge of what you taught us.
Yeah, so don't forget, it's always the questions that guide you, right?
Yes,
and sometimes those questions and the process of answering them, you also see answers to questions you didn't even ask. And that's why anytime you do any analysis, just ask yourself, what is it that I have learned that, what is that information that I just got out that normally I would never have thought about it? So those are now the things you now need to present. That now makes the analysis bit more meaning to them from the data.
Okay, sir.
Yes, but as the more you practice, you see, as you keep practicing, you start seeing you can do this data 10 times, you see 10 new things.
Yes.
You see that? So that's why, as I'm saying, you need to be careful. What's my objective? What do I want to answer? Because most times it is the problem that leads to the questions you want to answer, that leads to the data you are going to get, which in turn you have to validate those findings. So you must always have that objective. All right, thank you very much. Any other person?
Can I go, sir? It's still work in progress. It's still work in progress, sir.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, sir. So I use the marketing data you draw.
Okay.
So this is the raw data. I also follow the same route with, I look out for the blanks. So we have taken note of what you said. In real sense, that's actually people, I shouldn't delete the field. It's actually people's data.
Yes.
So I deleted the blank rows. So I have my analysis. I've only queried 3 questions so far.
Okay.
One that I couldn't use the twin map. I used the EPA cell that you taught us by doing this. And this is the dashboard. It's still working. So my slicer is just by, okay, the first one here is the any marital status. If I want to roll out a particular the products,
Okay.
okay, these are I want to know the particular those that actually I can target. I have earnings by qualifications also, and then the purchase of particular wine,
Yeah.
the level of by marital status, and here's my slicer by country. I can filter down by each country to know to do down my data, but I'm still working on it.
Yeah, that's
Yes, sir.
yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you very much.
So any observation for me to
You know what we can do by next? Let's try and complete our dashboard by next week when we have the fruit in the hair. Then now we can have. But if you have any contribution, you can also make. But I think when you have done the complete, then we can now start looking at it holistically. Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. Does anybody want to share again?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Let me share, although it's still work in progress as well. Okay. So I used the marketing data. So the data that was sent, I firstly converted it to table. So, and these were my analysis. Although I cut some of my charts, I cut them and put it on the dashboard. And these are my slicers. So the information, so I have my heading marketing research report. And I did some analysis, they'll purchase by country. So then income per marital status. So I was able to do that one. Then for web purchase per country, I think I did top 10 web purchase per country. Then average income per year of birth. So I analyzed that one basically. It's still basically work in progress, and I can as well.
These web purchases, why did you use a line chart?
I just wanted to use a different visual.
Hey, it's not that I just wanted to. There are certain visual. If you want to use, there are other alternatives, right? That you can also use. So, for example, if you don't want to use the bar chart or the column chart, you can also use the funnel chart.
Okay.
Right. You can use the tree map. Right. But this line chart is a no-no.
Okay, sir.
Even if you see people doing it, don't ever do it. It's not the right. Only when you're having proper time series data, that's when you use that. Because with this one, it's not really telling you anything now. Is it telling you that is it growing from Canada to Germany? Is only, for example, you can do this when you're doing bubble charts. That your sales is progressing in different sides, then you can do the bubble charts. But that one is when we get to Power BI, I'll show you how to do that one.
Okay.
You play the video and to be showing you from country to country how the bubbles and your sales have been going. Yeah, that's the only time. But okay, but that's fine. Great job.
Okay, sir.
That's fine. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Can I hear this is much better now?
Okay.
This is much better.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay, so let me just show us. Okay, we are done with charts, pivot tables, right? Reports. Okay. Okay, this is even another one. This is another data set. This should be like salary, insurance, maintenance. Maybe it's like an expense report. So somebody else can try this data set. Okay. Range. Have we done range naming? Range name.
No, sir.
No. Okay. Anyways, so the point here is that in Excel, Excel is made up of rows and columns, right?
Yes, sir.
And those rows and columns, wherever the bit is called a cell, right? It's called a cell. So where the rows and column meet is called what? A cell. And this point, this cell, this is called the cell address. Okay. So most time, whenever we are writing formulas or functions, right? Sometimes it sees this cell as C5, C6, C8, C20, C1000. But as human beings, you can't really understand that. So you want a way to tell Excel that instead of you seeing it as C2, see it as sales, or see it as cost, or see it as profits. Okay. So that will basically they refer. So let's say, for example, revenue, let's say expenses, and let's say you have profit. Let me say income. Something like this. So if I have here, let's say 10,000, you say I have here 6,000, and we know here is supposed to be equal to this minus this. Okay, so I want a situation that whenever I'm working, because if I'm using this repetitively, I don't always be going back to be referencing this particular cell. So rather, what you can do, you can just take this whole group, just highlight this whole group, come to your formulas. Can you see your formulas? Then you see name manager. So what you do, just click create from selection. Create from selection, and your the labels are on your left. So now you are having there. If your labels are on top, you put top row. If you're on the bottom, put bottom row. If you're on the right, put right row. Okay. So, and that way again is highlight your data. So instead of you clicking create from selection, press Ctrl Shift F3. And that's all you have there. Table with name already exists. So what I can do, I'll come to the manager. Can you see that it has been labeled? So what I'll do, I will just delete them. And that's where you check where you already have them. So it seems they are quite a lot. 9. Profit, revenue. Let me see. All right, that's our profit. Okay, let me try again and see. Ctrl Shift F3. So let me see which other one, which name is there. Okay, sales or revenue is there. Edit. Okay, so you see, it has called the name there, but because they are quite a lot, so it's looking for another name to call it. Let me see another one. Okay, let's see another one. Let's say you have Francis IJ Paul. Okay, so let me just take these numbers there. So instead of you referencing this 1,000, right, as G10, you call it Francis. Instead of calling this 6,000 as G11, you call it IJ. If you call it 4,000 as G12, you call it Paul. So if I highlight, Ctrl Shift F3, left, okay. So anyway, I type equal to Francis. Can you see that? Francis. If I say Francis plus IJ, what should I give you?
16,000.
16,000.
Yeah, 16,000. So if I go to any other sheet, I can go to another sheet. Let me come to another sheet. This is a new sheet now. This sheet has not to do with that other sheet. So if I say equal to Francis, equal to, who was the other person? Paul, right? Equal to IJ. So it just references that particular cell all through, or a group of cells all through.
Okay,
so
so
yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to like let me see if I got it well. Like maybe I use a particular, like let me use my poultry for example now.
Okay.
Let's say the cost of growers mash
So instead of me all the time to be looking for going back to check the price, I can just say equal to growers.
Exactly. Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful. So if you have a list, maybe with their prices there,
yes,
then you just highlight everything, Control Shift everything, you label everything. So
Yes.
anytime you want that, you just say equal to that thing. You just give
Yes.
the prices quickly. That's a good use case scenario. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Wow, this makes sense.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so that is it. So you see, I was trying to open plenty sheets. So if I want to highlight a lot of sheets, right? So what you do, once I click one sheet, hold your shift button. So I want to delete. Normally you just take one and delete, right? So if I want to delete a group of sheets, so if I click on the first one, I hold my shift button, click on the last one, that is sheet 6. So if you highlight those sheets, then say delete. Did you get that? So that's how to delete several sheets. Okay. All right. So we're okay with this range debit. Are we clear with the range debit now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So Excel errors, right? So Excel errors. So one of the common ones that we see is this, right? So when you see hash, it means that what? That space is it there, right? There's not enough space there. So when you see something like this, so it just tells you that you need to just expand your words cells. That's your column there. Then when you see name, so for example, if I wanted to enter equal to sum, and I just put S. So that name error means I don't know the name of that function or formula you're talking about. You see that? That's why that error comes in. Then division means that if I want to divide, for example, divide 5 by an empty space. Can you see that? So in mathematics, when you divide by 0, what will it give you?
Is 1.
Divide by 0 is not 0.
A number divided by 0 is what?
I thought it's 1.
1.
0 now.
It's impossible. Impossible. Okay, wait.
So that's exactly what you are going to have. You cannot divide that number by 0. Do you get? The same way, if I want to still be able to divide this 5 by an alphabet. So when you say value, it means not a value. Not a value. So that's why when you go to Python and you are trying to divide the numbers and it's just giving you throwing error. So you will now check, is there any text or any non-numeric data type in this column? So that means, is anyone not a value? They do not throw up the ones that are not values. So that's how the error comes here in Excel. Okay, but it is easy to trace it in Excel. But when you get to Python now, if you don't understand how this thing works here in Excel, then you will struggle over there. So just understand that here, sometimes we just need to check, is it the numeric data? If it's all numeric, then it's possible for me to add. But if some are numeric, some are non-numeric, then it will only add up the numeric ones for me. Okay, so you now need to check, is there a non-numeric data type here? So in this case, the error is giving you straight, telling you that it is not a number or not a value. That's why that error is there. Then there's another common one again. Although when we get to functions, okay, when we get to functions, you will see ref. Have you seen this error? This ref error, something like this.
Yes.
So this one means that you are linking it to a particular cell, but that cell you have deleted it. So you cannot reference to that cell anymore. I'm sure when we get to VLOOKUP, I think that VLOOKUP will attempt them when we get to functions. Okay, those are some of the basic errors. Is there any other error again that is common? Any other common error again? There was somebody that was asking a question. Now, you know, sometimes where there's an error, right? So if you come here, you can see this caution sign. So if you click on this, sometimes even when it's not a number, maybe they are all text, and actually they are supposed to have been numbers. So another way you can do it here is to highlight this, come here, you now tell you convert to numbers. I don't know who asked that, somebody asked that question, but it didn't come up in my own data set like this. But this is another way of doing it. Instead of doing instead of you remember that first, this I always give you guys to add up where they are text.
Yes.
In some versions, it will give you errors. It will just highlight, so you can just highlight them and just click this and just say convert to numbers. Automatically, it converts everything to numbers instead of finding and replacing the dollar sign. So these are other alternatives to do it, okay? Or you can just say ignore error and life goes on. Okay, that's fine for error. So those are the basic errors you have. So either your cells are too small, so you need to expand them, or name error means doesn't know the name of that function you are looking for. This means you are dividing by 0 or an empty space, an empty cell, okay? Value means the number you are dividing is not a value. So then reference means you cannot see that cell you are referencing. Okay, custom field. Okay, custom field. Here, you know, for example, in Excel, when you have Monday, so you know how you drag like this Monday, Tuesday to Friday. You have January, February, March, April, isn't it? So now, in your own case, if you type Abia, who was asking me that question that day? That you tried states. So if you drag it, that you don't have it, right? So if you try to type the Abia and drag down, do you have anything there? Or it's giving you Abia or true? Do you have something like this Abia out?
When I tried it before, this is what came out.
Or you have?
I have Abia all true.
You have Abia out true. Good. So that means it's not customized. So what they have done here, right? So what you are seeing here, it's already been customized.
Okay.
It's already been customized. Just imagine that you have, let's say, employees. So maybe you have employees, let's say Francis, IJ, let's say Antonia. So if Antonia, this is how you spell Antonia. Antonia. All right. So let's assume these are the employees, right? And this is how you want them every time. Because if I type Francis now and drag down, nothing is happening. Say Francis or true. So which means if I also customize these names as my employees, okay, then what I can do, I can simply highlight. Okay, let me just highlight from employees. So whenever I type employees, I drag down to give me those employees the way I want them. So I can highlight this and come here to file, options. Are you there? File, options, advanced. Okay, I'll do it again. You highlight, file, options, advanced. Are you there? Then go down to the end, close to the end. You see general. Can you see general? Create lists for use in sort and fill sequence. So edit custom lists. So do you see those Sunday, Monday? Can you see them now?
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So that thing you are dragging, not that miracle.
Wow.
It was programmed for you. So that's the same way you can also customize your. So in our own case, we are going to import it. Can you see our own now? Can you see our own now? So click OK. And okay. So now if I type employees and I drag down, what do you think it show me now?
The list.
The rest names will show. The list will show.
So that's exactly what has happened. That's how I have done this state. So for example, this Abuja, I already know that this Abuja, anytime I'm working with it, I should turn it to Federal Capital Territory. You know why?
Because that's
You know
how
why
it
it
is.
must be
Because that's how it's represented on the map.
on the visual, exactly.
Yes.
Visual, yes. Then here we can we sort it out? Yes. Where is our sort? Sort A to Z. Okay. So this is sorted A to Z, isn't it? So do you want me to put states there, or you just want the names? Abia, how do you want it?
You can put states.
Okay, so the entire I type states, it's everything that is under. Okay, so states will be like the header, then drag down. So if this is what I want, then I just highlight, and when I highlight, where will I go? File, options, advanced.
Advanced.
Now scroll down to where I have the general. If I just scroll down to the end, you will see, just scroll down to the last place, okay?
Lists.
Edit custom lists, right? Then import. Can you see import? What has been highlighted? Can you see this? A1 to A33. That way I see there. A1 to A38. Can you see that?
Yes.
So import. And okay, we're done. So anytime I type states, right? I just drag and I have all my states there. And we are done. So once it gets to the end, you repeat it back at the beginning. But this is how you do it. Okay, so things that you work with. So for example, region. So I have north, west, east, south, any other one. Assuming this is all I have, I'll just highlight. Come here, file, options, advanced, scroll down, edit this, import. I'm done. Okay. So once I type region, and I just drag down and have whatever I want there. So that's the same way you.
Okay, Mr. Francis.
Yes.
Dr. Francis, sorry. Is it case sensitive when you type the heading?
It's not case sensitive. If I type region like this, right?
Okay.
That's all right. So that's how you can customize your own. So instead of you typing certain things, just get the list once and just put it there. Okay. So are we clear with this? So now I put this thing here so that you can see. So file, options, advanced, then scroll down to the end. See where you see this general and custom list. Okay. Are we done?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Text to column. Text to column. Okay, text to column, right? So sometimes we want to separate. Now you see that hyphen that you have there, but you want to break them into different columns. So I'll have 3 columns here: 1, 2, 3. Or another one that people do again. Let me see. Yeah, this is another common one, right? Names. So let me just take some names there. Let me take some names. Text to column. Okay. Let me take some names there. You know, sometimes people don't want to work with all the full name on one cell. What they want to do, they want to break your surname, break your middle name, break your first name. Okay. So the same thing you want to do here. So you want to separate the names. So here, what you can do now, if you come to your data, can you see data there? Can you
Yes,
see your
sir.
data?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You see text to columns. Can you see text to columns? So text to columns. So if you have a character, then whether it's a comma, tabs, so you put it there. If it's fixed, you put it there. But the thing is that most times just leave it as delimited, right? So next. So what's the difference? How are these two separated?
First name and surname.
Separated by
Space.
what? By
By
space.
space.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Not tab, by space. Then to show you, is this what you want? Yes. Next.
Yes.
I'm done. You understand that? So the same way here, I want to separate this into 3 different columns. So I want the first column, the second one, and the number. So what I will do again, I can highlight from here your data, text to columns, delimited, next. How is it separated? How do you want to separate them?
Semicolon.
Do you have any semicolon here?
No.
Order.
Order, yes.
I will go to orders now, isn't it? So how are they separated? Hyphen.
Hyphen.
Next, finish. And I'm done. Are you clear with this now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's the typical case when you use text to column instead of you retyping. But I will show you another way. So that same thing we have done, you can do that with flash fill. So flash fill means I'll just type for BO. What is number 100000179. So this is how I want it to look like, right? So what I can do,
The figures are not the same.
the figures are not the same. What number
Yes,
is it?
the 0 is SS here. It's just 10030.
1, 2, 3, like this.
Yes.
1798.
98.
All right. Thank you. So which means, what do I want to do? I want to extract just this first column. Okay. So Control E. I'm done. I want to extract this second one. Just the second one. Control E. I want to extract just the number. Just the number. Control E. You see that?
It's better now.
Yes.
It all depends now. It all depends. I told you that in Excel there are different ways of doing this. But assuming I want to extract everything at once, and I highlight and say Control E, can you see it will not allow you to do it at once. But if I have done the second one, let's say maybe it's not clear about what format you want. 100000454. Let's try and see. If you try 1, try 2. If it's not seeing it, then just continue with this guy. E, that's flash fill. So the same way, I want to extract the dates, the month, the year. So here I put 21 October 2013. So let's do that. Control E for the month, Control E for the month, Control E. Now let's see what happened now. He added what now to it? 2013. Okay, let me do another one. Let me see if I take 13, but let me see 2013. Let me see 2014. All right, let's try and see. Did you pick it?
Yes.
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 So if you try one, it doesn't work. Try a second one, try the third one. If they are different ones, so just give it the one that you understand that is there. So the moment he sees that number, automatically it creates it for you like that. But if I had just left 13, 14, that one will work straight. That one will work straight. That one will work straight. Okay. So the same way that you have, let's say, Sunday. So I want to get the Sunday clear. Okay. So I can just drag that, Control E, drag this, Control E. Now I want to form the email. So if you have the email c.gautier@lbs.edu.ng, something like this. So once I've done one, I can create everybody's email. Control E, everybody's email is there now.
Nice.
HR people that will like this one.
Doctor.
Yes. So that's flash field. That's another field. Flash field. So a whole lot. But it's just about once it sees the pattern, it just follows it. So that's exactly so this flash field. So whenever you go to your Excel table, this is your tables here. Whenever you are adding certain things, why is filling it up for you? So if I do this, if I come here, maybe I come and add, let's say, cost. Can you see that flash fill symbol is already there? So if I come here and say, let's say cost is equal to sales minus profits. Once I do one, it does everything. What does it do? Flash fill for you. So what you are having embedded in your table is a flash fill. Did you get that? So that is the flash fill. Okay. So are we okay with flash fill now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm sure this flash fill I have to show you guys in class now. Okay, let's continue. Referencing. Okay, referencing. So here, let's take this one out so that we understand how it's used. So you know in Excel work with cells, isn't it? Excel work with cells. So every time you are trying to link, to make sure that your model is dynamic or your analysis is dynamic, you try to link cells. Okay. So I remember that whenever you are referencing those cells, sometimes that's exactly what you are doing with your, what do you call it? What was that we did just now? What do we call it just? Range DB here. So range DB, we are naming a group of cells. Okay. We are naming a group of cells. But what we are doing, we are still referencing that cell. So that anytime I type equal to Francis, there's something that's coming out. But in this case, we are trying to see how we can link two cells together. So they are called referencing. By default, we have what they call relative reference. That is why anytime you do anything, you just drag. What it's doing is relative. So you see that you can drag it to the left, to the right, up, down. Yeah. So that is relative reference. Absolute means you have to hold that particular cell. Okay. And how do we hold the cell? We hold it with what? The dollar sign. So we just type the dollar sign. But the shortcut for dollar sign is what? F4.
Function F4.
F4. So for those of you, if you press F4 it doesn't work, you have to now press function plus F4. You see your function button, function plus F4. You have to hold them together. Then when you press function plus F4, then now gives you the dollar sign. Then mixed reference means you are holding only one side. Yeah? So remember that in Excel, what cell is this? What cell is this?
G17.
G what?
17.
Good. How does Excel identify a row?
Row by number.
Row by number, yes.
But how does it identify a row?
By reference.
How
By
does,
row number.
by row what number? How does Excel identify a column?
Alphabets.
With alphabets.
So when you are reading this G17, how is he reading it now?
Column G row
Column G
17.
rows
Column
17.
row.
Yeah?
Column
Column-
G row 17.
Column
first.
G, is it not? Column G, row what?
Row 17.
17.
I think you get this one now, right? So anytime I have G17 like this, G17 means this is by default, it's relative. You see that it's relative because it's not fixed at all. Nothing is holding it. But the moment I come here and say, so this $ means what? Hold. Isn't it? It means hold.
Yes.
If I have $ G $17, how do I read this now?
Hold.
So you are holding both the row and the column.
Yes. Hold what?
Column G.
Column G.
Hold.
And row 17.
And hold row 17. So this is called what? Absolute.
Okay.
Isn't it? But if I have a situation where I say hold this, what is this one saying?
Partly.
You are holding
Hold
only the
Column
column.
G.
column.
But the row you are
only
not holding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if I have the same weight, G, what is this one?
You are
Hold the
holding
row.
the row.
17.
Only the row. Beautiful.
Yes.
So this is called a mixed reference. You get that now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You can differentiate absolute, mixed, and relative. Yes?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's go. So that's why in Excel, as long as you can do it on paper, yeah, you can do whatever you want to do on paper, you can build it here. So just for you to now think of what you want to achieve, then now think about how you don't build it. But first of all, it must be clear on paper what you want to do. So here, if I wanted to get the percentage of each revenue, how do I get the percentage of each revenue? I would have first of all gotten the total, isn't it?
Yes.
I'll get the total. Then I'll now have equal to this divided by this. And it works fine. But when I drag down, what do you notice now? What is this error?
Division by
Empty cell.
zero.
Or by an empty cell.
The row is moving down.
Yes, what is this error? What does this error tell you?
No value.
There's no value. There's no value in the row.
There's no value. That means you are dividing a text. Okay?
Yes.
So you are noticing that as I click now, can you see that it's going down? It's going down. Are you noticing it?
Yes.
Yes.
So that is relative. Can you see it's relative? It's moving up and down. So what do I want to do?
You have to hold the cells.
I have to hold it. Is it not? I have to hold this constant.
20.
So how do I hold it constant? I'll press what?
Absolute.
F4.
F4.
Which means don't move anywhere. Just hold that cell alone. Then I'm done. Then I am done. We are clear with this now, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So that's the absolute. Now, in the same way, so sometimes when you want to build certain models or you are doing your budget and you say, oh, we expect the sales to increase 5% month on month, isn't it? 5%. So on paper, okay, let's do this one, right? So if I want to increase 100,000, increase by 20%, right? So it will be 20% of 100. So if this is 100 times 20, isn't it? Divided by 100. So how many zeros do we have here? 1, 2, 3. So which means that this guy will go with this guy, isn't it? So what are we left with?
Yes, 20. Okay, 20,000.
So we have what? 20,000, isn't it? So increase by 20,000 means now 20,000 plus
100,000.
100,000, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So this is what? 120.
120,000.
I think we understand it like this.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
In the same way, you now see that this 20%, if I say increase by 20%, you see this one, this 100,000 is 100%. So 100% plus 20%, what would that give you?
120.
120%.
Yes.
120%. So if I bring it to normal base, so it will be what? About what? 1.2. For those who can see, you know, there are some people that cannot see this thing. If I say increase by 5%, what will it be?
1.05.
1.05.
1.0. This for those who can see. If I say decrease by 5%, what will it be?
0.95.
0.95.
0.95. Beautiful. Can we all see this one?
Yes, sir.
So once you can see that, you see this one is arithmetic in primary school. It has nothing to do with Excel. All right. Now let's go. So now I want to increase. So just the same way I have done it on paper. So I want to do it in Excel now. So here's equal to this multiplied by this, isn't it? This 20%, is it changing? Or is the same? It's going to remain fixed?
It should be fixed.
It's fixed, isn't it? I'll hold it.
Yeah.
Let me put it bracket so there will be no problem. Right? Plus
Yes,
what?
Plus F.
Plus 100.
F3.
F3.
Yes. Can you see now what we wrote on down on paper? I see now that what we have built now.
Yes, sir.
So that is the 120. Okay. Then you can drag down and calculate. So if instead of you dragging down like this, you can use your keyboard. So your keyboard is what? Control R. Control R. Okay. So the same way here, if I want to increase by 20%, so equal to this times 1.2. Can you see that? Then if I right click, Control R, can you see that? Now,
yes, sir.
Whenever you work with Excel, whenever you work in Excel, so just imagine now, they said no, growth rate is not 20%. Growth rate is 10%. So what do? I will come here and change what? 10%. Do you notice something has happened?
Yes, sir.
Everything changed.
Yes, sir.
But this one, we want to type 1.2. So I have to type 1.05 here. Can you see that? On no account do you type anything here. So rather, what do you do?
Reference the cell.
You reference that cell.
Okay.
Yes. Never type anything there. Always what reference that cell. So when you type inside, it's called hard coding.
Okay.
It's called hard coding. So don't do that to ensure that your model is always dynamic.
Okay, so this
Because
is
here's
how,
yes.
sorry, this is how templates are created.
Yes, exactly. So these times, let's say this, right? Then I will lock it. Plus this. So let's check. Is this correct?
Yes, sir.
So if I increase here to 20%, can you see that? So the implication is that, why is that so big? What is happening?
Why are we having 110 under February?
Dr. Francis,
Yes.
I think we don't need to add it again. Since we're multiplying by
Exactly. So you are doing, you are now doubling it.
Yes.
So if you don't understand how it's done on paper, and this is the danger of when you are trying to learn what somebody else is doing. First of all, your theory must first of all say, okay, this is what I'm trying to achieve. That is why when, as analysts, whenever you see numbers, you must go back to the fundamental, understand how is this measured, how is this calculated, to know whether this number makes sense or not. Because with Excel, garbage in, garbage out, you are going to see numbers. And sometimes this thing can just embarrass you. Because you just go and put numbers there and say, Excel has done it. It's not Excel that is doing it, you are the one doing it. So you must always be careful of how am I doing this word calculation. So if I am doing it this way, I am just doing this multiplied by this. That's all. Now, what is happening now? What is happening?
We didn't reference that.
Not reference that. And that's the thing now. So you always need to, the moment you see the error, you should always be able to identify where it's likely coming from. Okay. So based on this, you can now do your profits. And equal to this minus. So that's profits, and I can do that. I'm sure this house of us build budgets. Is this how we build budgets?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we are clear with this now, isn't it? Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, the same way, sometimes you are given a certain amount. Okay, let's say, I want to generate from sale of this fruit. I want to generate from apples, maybe 1 billion naira. I want to generate from grapes, let's say 5 billion naira. Let's say I want to generate 300,000. I want to generate 2 billion naira. I want to generate 1 billion naira. Okay, now you want to ask yourself, okay, in dollars, how much will this be in dollars, right? So what is current exchange rate now? USD.
No, five.
5 what?
Like 500. Let's say 500.
500. Pounds.
I don't know pounds.
Pound would be like what? 600 or what?
It's 6 something.
Okay, let's say 600. Then euro.
It's above
Pounds is
700.
700 plus.
Yeah, euro is what?
It's 700 plus. Euro is 600 plus.
So let's do 700 then.
Okay, pound is what? 700.
Yes, sir.
No. Pound is 600. Euro is 7.
Oh, pound 600, euro 700. Okay, let's assume this is it, right? So I want to get the equivalent in dollars here, in pounds here, in euro. Okay, so what do we do now? Are we multiplying by 500 or we are dividing by 500?
Divide.
Dividing.
We are dividing. Okay, so it will be this divided by this. Does it apply to everybody?
Yes.
Yes. So I
Yes.
hold it constant. So instead of me dragging down, I can use my keyboard, highlight, and Control D, and to fill it down. So the same thing that happens here, so equal to this value divided by this. I hold it constant. And I run that equal to this divided by this. And I hold it constant. So the beauty about this is that the moment one changes, if you increase to 550, I just change it. That's why I'm not doing that today again. The thing changes here to, let's say, 640. I put it there. And this one increases to 770. Okay. So that's, so you will only be changing it only in one place, and every other thing change. Okay, I think we're okay with that.
Yes, sir.
All right. So maybe we'll just look at this mixed reference. Let's see. At least for this one, we understand this one is straightforward now. Yes, so this one is equal to what? This divided by this, and I hold it constant, and I run that down. And we're done. So mix in this case, so for example, I want to do a 4-figure table, right, or 4 times table. I mean, whatever times table you want to do. So here we normally do 1 times 1, isn't it? It will give us 1. So if I drag like this, is this correct?
No, sir.
No, it isn't.
No.
Is this correct?
No.
All right. So we see that, okay, as you can say, okay, 1 times 1. And see, sometimes when this is giving this problem, like what you can do, once you click here, come to the function bar, equal to 1 times. Can you see that now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So if you now decide, okay, let me hold this one constant and run it. Is this correct?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Is this correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's go down. Is this correct?
No, sir.
So you need to understand what you are trying to do. That's why this mixed reference is a little bit more complicated. Okay, so I want a situation that, so this one, what is doing is just holding this one constant for me.
Yeah.
I'm multiplying. So
Yes.
by default, because 1 times whatever will give that number, that's why this first one is correct.
Yeah.
But now I want a situation where I will hold this constant while this row will be moving.
Okay.
You get that? I want
Yes.
another situation where I will hold this row constant, right? Why this column? Sorry.
Moving.
I will hold this row constant while the column is moving, isn't it?
Yes.
Or I will hold this column constant while what? The rows, is it not? Can be moving.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So as long as you can think about it. So here, what I'll do, let's do it equal to 1 times 1. So what do I want to hold constant? I want to hold what now? I want to hold this column. What is the column now?
Column
Column A.
Column what?
K.
So if I press it once like this, I'm holding what? I'm holding both.
Both the column and the row. Yeah.
So I will press F4 again. This one is holding only what?
The row.
Only the row. Isn't
The
it?
row now,
I'll
yes.
press
Yes.
F4 again. What is this one holding?
Only the column.
The column.
Only the column. Beautiful. So I'll come on this side and lock. This one is locking what? Both rows and column, isn't it?
Yes.
Sir.
Yes.
I will press again. This one is what?
Only the
Only
The
row.
row.
Only the row. So that first one was only the column, and this is only the row.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So let's see now. Is this correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Is this correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You understand the logic behind it now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that is your mixed referencing. Okay. That's your mixed referencing. Okay. Data validation. Okay. And that's a very important one. Data validation. Let me see. Okay, yes. Let me take the states. Let me take the states here. Now, one problem that you have as analysts, especially when working with a team, when they are collecting the data, especially when they are entering them manually, they can type different, I don't know, let me just say, the miracle they perform for you, you'll be amazed. Somebody wants to type Abia, space Abia. Someone wants to type Adamawa. And he has typed it too. Somebody is typing Akwa Ibom. Akwa Ibom. Do you know in their minds they have typed the data for? But when you want to analyze this, you are going to cry, you know? Because you are seeing the value there. But when you are using the function to pick it, it's not seeing it for you. Because space is a character. So there are two different things. So in order to ensure that they don't type nonsense for you, you have to now make sure that just don't type, just select, don't type. Because the moment you give them freedom to type, then whatever you see, you just take it. So instead, what you do, just tell them, see, on this, so this is how you create your template. So on these states now, don't type anything, they will just choose what they want. Okay, so let's say I can take down up to whatever point. So let me just take it down to, okay, I can take it to the end like that, right? So what I can do, so if this is where I want the data to be, right? If this is where I want the data to be, so I can put that. Then if I come here, can you see your data? If you click on data, data tools, you know, we talked about text to column now. If you come down here, you say something called data validation. Data validation, click on it. Allow what? Any value? No. Give me list. Isn't it? Where is the source? Where is the source? The source is from here. Now, input message in case you just type. Let me see which of them will be better. Okay, let me use. So do you want to stop or you want to warn? So in case there's an error, do you get? So input message. So here is a, let's say state. So I can put an instruction. Please select the state from the list below. Then in case there's an error there, what should you do? Should you stop or should they continue? Just stop. Error. Are you normal? Then okay. You see that now? So can you see? Please select. Can you see the instruction now?
Yes.
Yes. I'll now click now. Can you see that? Somebody will say, no, I don't want. I want to type. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Then now go back there. Cancel. So they are not type. They will not type anything. So once this is customized for them like this, then your life will be easy. But the moment you allow them type for you, you are finished. You see that data cleaning we always talk about. This is part of the problem. Because as long as you allow them to have their to type at their own discretion, right? In their mind, because you know sometimes they are told, please, we need the data, their entry data. Their own job is that let me collect the data, let me plenty that have entered the data. But remember that this data is going to be analyzed. Right? So since it's going to be analyzed, the moment you allow them type whatever they want, that means you are just going to be having errors. So now we say more than 80 to 90% of the time you use in analyzing the data, you spend that time cleaning that data. So if you don't do something like this, then you are going to have serious problem. Serious problem. So this is your data validation. Very important key concept to learn. Are we okay with this?
So that means we cannot do data validation
Yes,
without
sir.
first. We cannot do this without first having configured the state.
Yeah. So for example, now you can do it on that sheet now. So let me data validation on that sheet. Let me see states, right? Sometimes you can states. So if I click data validation, list source. So can you see that? So I just highlighted. Well, that was let me highlight up to this point. They come here to data validation. So list. The same way you can also select for dates. Pick periods, months. Okay. So I can select as I want. All right. I have another session by 3 now. So hopefully next week we'll see. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right.
Thank you very much, Dr. Francis.
All right. Bye.
Thank you
Bye.
very much,
Sir.
Dr. Francis.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you so much, sir.
Dr. Francis.
Thank you,
Hello.
Dr. Francis.